Afternoon all, we're still in Lordsburg and we're just waiting for our pickup to take us down to the Crazy Cook Monument and the start of the Continental Divide Trail. Okay, so here's the new Mexico border. I don't know if you can hear what I'm saying. High-tech stuff. And there's border control already on their way. I'm sorry, it had to be done. In case you were wondering, the Crazy Cook Monument was actually named after a crazy cook. Back in 1907, a man named Frank Evans questioned the cook's cooking, and so the cook killed him with an axe. So we made it here, made it to the start. That's the hard part done. Okay, so we're finally off. Just a few miles walk beyond the mountains that you can't see from this angle, and we'll be in Canada. It really is nice to actually have gotten here. Like I said before, I don't know how much of this you're going to be able to hear, because the wind is pretty bad at the moment, but I'm doing my best to record some stuff anyway. But right now, I know it's going to get hard, but right now it's difficult to keep the smile off my face. My back hurts. Okay, so we made it to camp. We only did 7 miles today because the shuttle that we had that took us down to the Crazy Cook Monument wasn't able to drop us off here until about 4 in the afternoon, which is what we expected. But low mileage day, again, no surprise. It's been pretty windy today. We expect it to be windy for the next couple of days, which has once again provided me with an excuse not to speak very much. I'm going to have a different excuse for every single video, I suspect. But we will keep trying, and we'll keep pushing forward. I think we've definitely got too much stuff in our packs. I think we knew that coming out here as well, so there's a few hikers knocking around who have agreed to give us a shakedown. Remove some of the stuff that we don't necessarily need. I think we've already got a good idea of what some of that will be. But all part of the learning curve. Okay, see you in the morning.
Good morning, people. First morning on trail, and the sun is rising.
It's now 6:30 AM. My family will be amazed that I'm awake. Okay, so this is the first of 5 water caches, which are maintained not only by the shuttle service, who took us originally down to the Mexico border, but also by some trail angels in the area, such as a guy who's known as Radar, who's something of a legend. They give a good few hours of their time every day just to make sure that hikers on the trail have all the water they need. So it's much appreciated. Once we get north of Lordsburg again, of course, we're on our own, but until then, this is very nice. Morning all. Today's the start of our second full day on trail. Yesterday we managed about 15 miles, which is about what we were looking to do. Very windy again. Last night was even windier than the night before, so I'd be lying if I said it was a great night's sleep. Did hear some coyotes in the night, so that was interesting. Jeremy has been given his trail name. Jeremy's trail name is Pirate, and it was given to him by another hiker named Checkers, and Jeremy has accepted it wholeheartedly. I've not yet acquired a trail name. My success rate with nicknames in the past has not been great. I remember once a few years back I worked at a place which, amongst other things, sold neutralizer, and I thought that the neutralizer might be a cool nickname to try and get caught on for me. Don't worry, I wasn't really that sad. I I did it in a tongue-in-cheek manner. Anyhow, for several weeks, if a job came up, I would say, this looks like a job for the neutralizer. And everyone hated it. But eventually, one of our customers phoned up with a complaint that the neutralizer smelled bad. And unfortunately, the neutralizer died that day as a nickname for me. And he's not been around since. That being said, the world has taken a bit of a downturn in the last few years, perhaps due to no longer having the neutralizer around to protect us all. Maybe it's time for him to come back. Yeah, there's no way all this is surviving the cut, is there? So we're at the second water cache. And here's two hikers that we've been sharing a bit of time with. This is Bill and Checker. My apologies. This is Stubby and Checker.
All 3 legs are short.
And they're responsible for Jeremy's trail name of Pirate, whether he wants it or not. That's his. So we're just about ready to leave the second water cache. There's a whole new crop of hikers there. There's plenty of people out here. Well, fortunately, we've got enough water that we don't need to stock up here. But while it's not a fantastic water source, it does come from this handy tank, which has given us our first bit of good shade all day on trail. And we are absolutely making use of that for a few minutes. Don't worry about us, it's okay. So, last night's campsite. Not too bad a view to wake up to. Did a few less miles yesterday than we hoped, only 12, but we did have a lot of elevation gains, so it was quite a challenging walk, but 12 ain't too bad. Check it out, folks, the nicest bit of shade that we've seen so far, under the biggest tree that we've seen so far. And better than that, someone has left a nice little water cache available for any hikers to use. So we were going to push by this one and try and make some miles, but I think that tipped us over the edge. We are going to pause here for a few minutes. Okay, so it turns out that there's not a lot of water left in here, so we're actually not going to fill up. We'll leave that for someone else who might need it. We're in not bad shape to get to our next water source. Okay, so I don't know if you can see it all that clearly, but over there in the distance there's a farmer's well, and it's our next supposedly reliable water source, and we are quite ready for it. So that's not too bad. We haven't got a drink out of a trough or anything. So you can see there's a spigot with a hose attached. The hiking app that we're using for navigation, Far Out, it does keep us up to date on what water sources are good and what are not. And it does tell us that a few months back, one of the cows, which have been looking at us angrily over there, actually did manage to poop right on the end of this. So that's always good to know. And fortunately it's not still there, but I don't know if that's knowledge I wanted. Looks like someone's been using this CDT marker for spot a target practice. Morning all. Okay guys, so yesterday we came up to Cash Free and we knew in advance that there was an offer available to bring us into a small town of about 30 people called Hachita towards the end of the day, and that would include the chance to sleep in the community centre, some hot burritos and nice cold sodas. We had intended to push through, but about 6 miles before that we had been at a water cache, which, although the water seemed good, it was the first water we had to filter this whole trip, and I wasn't able to drink more than a mouthful or two of it without that wanting to come back up. So tried to make it the 6 miles to the main water cache without drinking too much of it. But by the time we got there, we were quite ready for a night out of the desert. But we're going to be getting a lift back to the point where we left the trail today, and we're going to push on feeling much better. Okay, so we've just had a couple of lovely burritos at the Hachita General Store. The owners popped out for a little while and left us in charge. Very trusting neighbourhood. And we are back on the Continental Divide Trail. We did, as we always will, whenever we leave anywhere on the trail to go to a nearby town, we did return to the point where we left the trail so that our footprints are essentially unbroken. I'd love to have helped, but I'm very, very busy filming you and hoping that wasps attack you. Whoever told us New Mexico was a nice, flat, easy way to start the trail was lying their ass off. Hey guys, it's another new day today. We spent last night camped out next to the fourth main water cache, and we've got just shy of 20 miles to go to the fifth and final water cache before getting back into Lordsburg. There are a few water sources between here and there. I don't think we'll get to that next main water cache tonight, but our next shot of decent water is in about 13 miles. There's some less than savoury, that's not a good word to describe water, is it? There's some less than appealing sounding water sources elsewhere. We'll use them if we have to. Fortunately, we should have enough water to make it to our next water source. Okay, so tomorrow we should get into Lordsburg, maybe around tomorrow afternoon. We'll have less than 10 miles to walk by then. Today we've done around 18 miles so far, but we're struggling to find a decent camp spot, and we are both very, very ready to stop for the day. Okay, so it's now Sunday morning. We originally left Lordsburg on Monday afternoon. We had said we hoped it would take us 5 or 6 days. We should get back into Lordsburg about lunchtime today, so it will have been 6 days. It's not too bad. Earlier in the video, assuming that I didn't chop it out, which frankly wouldn't surprise me, I rambled on a bit about once upon a time having the nickname the neutralizer, and our customer phoned up to complain that the neutralizer smelled bad, and that's what killed off that particular name. Smelling bad actually would mean that that nickname makes a lot more sense at the moment. I can't remember a time that I've smelt worse than I do now. My family know that I do like to take a long shower, and I am certain that when we get back into town, it's going to be a long shower indeed. Catch you later. Well, we're still about 4 miles out. I don't know if you guys can see it there, but that is Lordsburg out there. And it's a more beautiful sight to see than it was a week ago when we got here the first time. We leave Lordsburg this next time, our route will take us out the other side towards those mountains beyond. Okay guys, we're back at the Motel 6 in Lordsburg, where we are both going to have long overdue showers and get some laundry done. I mean, these socks, they hold up well, but they're disgusting. I've not had a pair of socks this crusty since I was 15. So yeah, that's the most important thing to sort out. We're going to have a 0 day tomorrow. That's a day where we don't do any trail miles. Hopefully I'll get some editing done, and we'll prepare for our next leg, which is going to hold its own challenges.
Please like, comment and subscribe, and you may see us in the next video.